If you suffer from seasonal allergies, you're probably wondering if the suffering season has started a little early this year. We're Skyping with Dr. Dipa Sheth, the allergist and immunologist in the Allergy, Asthma, and Sinus Center at the George Washington Medical Faculty Associates. So let me ask you, Doctor, is it our imagination or has allergy season come early?
No, I don't think it's your imagination at all. Actually, we had a mild winter. So with the mild winter, we had mild temperatures and things started blooming a little bit early this year.
So what is early? I mean, at this point, every year it seems like it's earlier and earlier.
Well, typically, trees will bloom, in March, but sometimes as early as mid-February, early February, you can have the trees start pollinating and blooming. So this year with a mild winter and higher temperatures, we just had trees pollinating earlier than usual. And, then with the intense heat that we're experiencing now overnight, it just seems like we had 80-degree weather. With intense heat like that, you also can have a severe allergy season.
So who gets hit the worst?
25% of Americans have allergic rhinitis or seasonal hay fever. Typically, some people will have year-round symptoms, and some people who are, we say, allergic to trees and weeds, grasses, and pollens, a lot of them will have a harder year when it's their season. But in terms of who has watery eyes and who has, who's sneezing, it's typically, 25% of the American population. But the people that are hardest hit, I think, are those patients that are asthmatics. A lot of patients who have allergic asthma, they have a really hard time when they have seasonal allergies.
I mean, are they an actual danger?
If you're a severe asthmatic and you have severe allergies, yes, you can be. So it's really important to get your allergies under control and make sure that you see your doctors for your asthma and make sure that you're well controlled, because you can have asthma exacerbations during pollen season.
Well, you said an interesting sentence there, get your allergies under control. Can the 25% who suffer get their allergies under control?
Well, that's what we're here for. We can definitely help with that. Definitely taking medications, nasal steroids, environmental, controls such as keeping your windows closed, using air conditioning, washing your hair and showering before you go to bed, getting all the pollen out of your hair, definitely help. And allergy immunotherapy, or AIT, is definitely very beneficial for a lot of patients, and a lot of patients do that.
Well, would a lot of patients think that oh, well, I can get through this, I can just get something at the store? Are they right to think that, or are they missing an opportunity?
I think, some patients that have mild allergies, they may be able to, but I think for the most part, a lot of people who do suffer, we can do a better job at getting them under control with allergy shots or with medications and helping them through it. And that's what we specialize in. So, I think we do a good job in helping those patients. But I think a lot of patients don't realize that asthma can also be very tied to their allergies, their sinus congestions, the pressure headaches that they experience. So I think all of those things are interrelated.
What is it about this area in particular? People move here, maybe this is anecdotal, but people seem to move here who've never suffered from allergies before, and then their eyes are watering and they're having all the symptoms.
It usually takes about a year, anywhere you are, to become sensitized to the environment that you're in. So many times people who move into a new area, they don't experience any symptoms. It's until after they've been somewhere for a while they start to feel that. Washington, D.C., it does have a very high pollen count, so a very high tree pollen count especially, so that may be what they're experiencing. But, if you ask anybody across the country, I'm sure people who have allergies, they all feel like they're all suffering.
Do you have to wait until you see it on the car, the pollen's on the car, and clean it, or should you get started before that?
Yes, no, you're exactly right. You should definitely get started before that. We recommend typically a couple weeks before the allergy season starts. So, if you are doing nasal washes, nasal saline washes, or doing nasal steroids, taking your antihistamines, if you do it a couple weeks before the season, then that's best. And getting skin testing will tell you what your season is. It allows you to know the testing allows you to know what you are sensitized to. So if we tell you that you're allergic to trees, typically a couple weeks before the tree season hits, that would be the best time to get on your allergy medications.
So you could be allergic to trees. What else? What else can you be allergic to?
So pollen in general, trees, weeds, grasses, dust mites are a big year-round, antigen that bothers people, or a year-round allergen. We have a lot of dust mites here. Cockroach, cat, dog, those are all different things that people are allergic to.
What steps can they take before they come to you?
The big thing, is doing nasal washes. Those are great, nasal saline washes. It doesn't involve a medication, so it's just nasal rinses, doing that to sort of irrigate, getting those irritants out. Doing environmental controls, if you're allergic to dust mite, getting dust mite covers on your bed, on your pillowcases, making sure that you clean your paste regularly, washing your bed sheets regularly. If you're trying to keep the pollen out, again, use your air conditioner. Don't keep the windows open in the car. Don't have the windows open when you're at home, when you know that you're, sneezing, during a certain season. Don't dry your clothes outdoors so that pollen gets on them. Dry your clothes in the clothes dryer. Those are some of the things you can do. Taking an antihistamine over the counter, sometimes that's just enough for people. Nasal steroids, those are prescriptions, so you typically have to see a physician for that. But nasal steroids work great as well.
I've always heard this expression, which is you can't grow out of allergies, but you can grow into them. Is that true? First of all, can you grow out of them?
Typically, people don't grow out of allergies. It's sort of the same with asthma. Sort of when you have it, you have it. But growing into an allergy, you can become what we call sensitized to different things at different times. So it's a pretty true statement, I guess.
Okay, and then when they come to see you and you say get tested, is it that thing where they on the back and they give you shots and you see what pops up, or is that gotten better from that?
That is.
What's that?
Skin testing is great. It only takes 15 minutes, and you can get tested on your back or on your forearms. We do it on our forearms, but it doesn't matter. Only takes 15 minutes, and it tells us immediately what you are allergic to, so we can tell you and guide you before you leave.
What else do I need to know?
Well, I think the one last thing that everyone should know is that allergies can affect how you function every day. People say that they feel sick, that they can't get through their day, they're not sleeping well, they have headaches. So I think people sometimes don't realize it's their allergies, and if you're not sure, you should get tested. But getting control of your allergies can definitely help your cognitive ability to get through the day and not impair you as much. You don't have to live like that. So I think it's one of those things that we can definitely make better.